Okay, today I'm going to go through how to calculate the mean and standard deviation and make a simple chart demonstrating the values. So what we have here is the observations over 4 minutes, just 4 minutes for an example of some scan sampling for the number of fish that are performing an activity. So what we have are 4 behavior categories in 4 minutes. So first I'm going to show how to calculate the mean. The mean is very simple to do. It's just a simple formula, equals average, parenthesis, highlight your data set, put end parenthesis, then go down, and that calculates that. Similarly, you can calculate standard deviation the same way, equals STDEV, parenthesis, highlight the data you want to calculate the standard deviation from, and hit the parenthesis again, and then go down below, and it calculates it. Now simply copy this and drag this formula across to calculate these values for everything. Next, what we want to do is actually make a graph. So what we're going to do is actually, we could do it with the data in this format like this, but it's simpler to just transpose the data. So we'll copy it, and then we're going to paste it down here, and we're going to use paste special, okay? And this will and then we'll use transpose, and that'll reverse these things into a vertical column. Next, we'll copy the mean data. Oops. Place that down there by transposing it using this page special. But we have to click values, or it will copy the formulas. And we'll do the same with the standard deviations. Paste special values again. So we copied the values and transpose. So now we have our data into a format that we can make into a chart very easily. So we first highlight the mean values for this data, and we hit insert column like that. So we have our basic graph. Now what we want to do is assign the names of these categories. So to do this, we need to click on one of these charts. Oops, sorry. Right click on, and you'll see here when you right click the mouse that you're going to see select data, and so you'll choose that. So now you'll hit edit in the horizontal category axis labels. We'll hit edit. Now we're going to select the label range by clicking on this little box here and highlight those titles. Now when we click this little box again, this will insert these in. So now we have the labels on our graph. The next thing we want to do is click on these little charts, these little bars, and we'll hit layout, and this will allow us to insert in error bars. So this will be the standard deviations that we have here. So let's click on arrow bars, and you'll see more arrow bars options. That's where we want to go with this. So we hit more arrow bar options, and we tell it that we want to use a custom value, and now we're going to specify the data range for that. Okay, so we specify value, and what we're going to do is highlight those standard deviations we calculated. Okay, then once we do that, we just hit OK, and now our standard deviations are now in this data. Now, one of the things you might want to do to make your standard deviations look a little nicer is when you click on these standard deviations, is actually just have them as plus, so they don't go downward, just upward. So now they look a little bit nicer. Next thing you want to do is clean this up a bit. Get rid of this series caption. You want to insert your axis titles. So the first one is primary horizontal axis title, idle axis below. Okay, so this is all under that layout tab. So now we just type in what this is, and we type in observed behaviors. Next, we'll insert the axis title for the vertical one. We do a primary vertical axis this time, and we rotate it. And what we want to do is call this numbers of fish per minute. Okay, and now we have the axis done. So that essentially is all we have to do in order to create a graph in Excel that will allow us to compare our data. So you could do this within Fish, or you can take the grand means of all your samples, yours and your partner's data, and calculate the means and standard deviation for your combined data. So in other words, calculate the tallies for each sampling that you did, and then take the means for each one of those, and then calculate standard deviation and means for the combined data, and then create your graphs. And you want to do this as a way to summarize your data rather than having lots and lots of data, but instead having it summarized in nice graphs that are easy to understand and clear to read. Thank you. Hope that helps.